Hey, save my coin budget friends, it's your girl Shalisha, and in today's video we are going to talk all about debt, paying off debt. So if you like budgeting videos, cash stuffing, sinking funds, single mother finances on a low income, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe bell so you do not miss the time when I post. If this is your first time seeing my video, hey, thank you so much for clicking on it. If you're a returning subscriber and oldie but goodie, hey, thank you so much for coming on back. How are you today? How are the kids? How is the family? Did you watch the eclipse yesterday? Today is currently Tuesday when I'm filming this. I'm hoping I can get it up Tuesday evening. If not, then it's Wednesday when you're watching this. Let me know if you were able to watch it with your kids, if you took some time out, if they saw it at school. Let me know in the comment section down below. But today we are going to be talking all things debt, okay? We all have it. We have some form of it, whether it is credit cards, student loans, vehicles, mortgages, whatever it is. We have debts, and we are on this journey of getting it paid off. So I did want to do a video on how best to go about paying off debt. I'm going to do just the simple basics, starting with credit cards. So if you remember, we are in the Saving My Coin Budgets Financial Planner. For this portion, I went ahead and I let you guys know how much debt I was in when it came to my credit cards. So these were the credit cards that I had in February before I paid them off with my tax return. So I had my Target card, my Discover card, my Capital One, as well as my Walmart. So the balances for Target was 109, Discover was 437.32. For Capital One, it was 662.71, and then Walmart, it was $79. So I am going to just give you guys some examples of which ways would be possible to pay off this debt. There are two of the easiest ways. One gives you more instant gratification. The second one allows for you to pay off the highest amount of interest, which we know adds on some coinage to the debt as well. So the two methods we're going to be talking about today are debt snowball and the avalanche method. So I am going to do calculations for both of these options to just give you a view of how I would be able to pay these off if I did not pay them off with my tax return. So with the debt snowball, you take the lowest balance that you have, whether it's credit cards, car, vehicles, whatever it is. You are going to focus on the one that has the lowest balance first. So based off of these 4 credit cards that I had, I'm going to start with my Walmart card, and then we're going to go to Target, and then we're going to go to Discover, and then we're going to go to Capital One. So you have to remember, before you can start paying off this debt, you have to make sure that you have created a budget and that you have money to put into paying off debt. If you barely have enough if you barely have enough money to pay your bills, you will not be able to aggressively pay off debt, whether you're doing the snowball method or the avalanche method. But remember, you have to make sure that you set up a budget and all of your bills are paid before you can start putting extra money towards your debt. So if you are cutting subscriptions, if you are lowering costs of things by reaching out to your debtors, then those are a couple ways you can cut it. But make sure that you are at least being able to provide for your 4 walls before you start aggressively paying off debt, because you will put yourself back into debt if you don't have enough money to cover your bills. So we're going to start with the lowest amount that I have, which is my Walmart card. So we're going to focus on Walmart. At the time, Walmart is $72. And I have a minimum payment that is due on the, let's just say, the 5th of every month, and that is $28. So in this time of paying off my credit card debt, I am trying my best not to use the cards to put myself in more debt. So we're just going to leave these balances as they are. We aren't going to touch them. We're just going to focus on paying them off. So today's the 4th. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to process a payment. So we have our $72 minus our $28, which is our first payment. So we have now brought this card down to just say it's $44, but you know they're still going to add the interest. So we're just going to say we brought it down to $48. So on the next time that we have to make this payment, which would be, so since this one is April, we're going to say May. Say on May 5th, we're going to make another payment of $28, which is the minimum payment. So we're going to do 48 minus the $28. And now we have a remaining balance of $20. We're just going to round this up to just say $23. So now on June 5th, we're going to make a payment of $23, which is what our remaining balance is, which is lower than our minimum payment. And now this card is paid off in full. So we made all of our normal payments. So our $28 to Target, $28 to Discover, $28 to Capital One, and $28 to Walmart. So we went ahead and still made all of the other payments to our credit cards, but we focused on making sure that we can pay this card off. Remember, we are not using the card as we are trying to pay it off. We are trying to keep the balance as it is and making a plan to pay it off. So now, this Walmart card is paid off. So what I'm going to do now is take this $28 that we were paying every month, and we are going to go ahead and we're now going to put it towards our Target card. So we have our Target card as being a balance of $137. We already are making sure that we have enough to pay our minimum payment, which is $28, which originally is how much we had to pay. So now we're going to take that $28 that we put in our budget to pay our Target credit card, plus the $28 that we were carving out for Walmart to make sure we had it paid. So now we're putting, instead of $28 to pay off Target, we're now going to put $56 to pay off Target. So we have $137 minus the $56, which is the minimum payment for Target, and then the Walmart, I'm just going to say Walmart minimum payment. So now we have the $137 minus the $56 that we now have for minimum payment here. That brings our balance down to $81. And so this is going to be our first payment for July. And we're just going to say July 5th. So then come August, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to minus the $56. So that brings our balance down to $25. So come September 5th, all we have to pay is $25 to bring this account to 0. So now we're going to take this $56 and we are going to put it towards our next highest card, which is going to be Discover, which has a balance of $468.32. So now we're getting to the higher cards. We knocked out two low cards, and now we're going to work towards our higher amounts. So now we're going to do Discover here. And Discover, we're still making our monthly payments. Everything is still copacetic. We're paying the $28 while we're also paying off these cards. So we paid off this Target card in September. We made our regular monthly payment in September. So now we're starting in October. So October is $468.32. We have our $28 that we are already obligated to pay. Now we're going to roll in this $28 that we had from Walmart, plus the $28 that we had from Target that we had already allocated. Now it's paid off. Now we're going to roll it into our next card. So now we're making a payment of $84 every month. So this was paid off in September. So this money will free up in October. So we're going to say October 5th. We're going to make a payment of $84, which is going to be the $648.32. I'm sorry, $468.32 minus the $84, which brings this payment to $384.32. We're going to do the same thing in November. Remember, we are not going to be using our cards for the holiday season. The point is to get out of debt, not put ourselves back into debt. So we have $300.32 come November. December, we're going to do the same thing. $84. That brings us to $216.32. Come in January of the new year, we're going to do $84. Again, because we're allocating money. At this point, we aren't using these two cards, and we're just going to follow this same plan until the cards are at 0. So then we have February. And then we have our last payment, let's just say March. For the next month. And we have went ahead and paid off this credit card in 6 months. And this is just making the minimum payment. So, of course, if you get a bonus, if you have extra money, if you're able to free up some stuff, you can definitely go ahead and throw more towards these credit cards. But this is just doing the snowball method. So from March, no, I take that back, y'all. From April, let's just say this is April of this year. So April of 2024 through March of 2025, you have paid off in full 3 credit cards. And that leaves you with 1 credit card left, which is Capital One. So you would repeat the same step to pay off this credit card. So now you have 3 credit cards that are freed up. So now you're going to take this $84 plus the $28 that you're already obligated to pay. And now you are going to be making a $112 payment for Capital One. So we just going to move on down here and we're going to set up Capital One. So the balance for Capital One is $662.71, and we are going to make this April. So now we've been working on paying off these credit cards for a year. We've made progress, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So we're making $112 payments. That's $28 from Walmart, $28 from Target, $28 from Discover, and the $28 that we were already obligated to pay for Capital One. So we have $662.71 minus $112. So that's $550.71. The next payment is going to be in May, and we're going to do the same thing. That brings us to $438.71. June, we're doing the same thing. This is keeping you in your budget. You aren't overextending yourself. Then we have $112 again, and this is July. So we're in July of 2025. And that's $214.71. Now we have August of 2025, making $112 again. So that leaves us with $102.71. And our final payment would be September. Y'all, can you see me? Can you see me? The final payment would be September in the amount of $102.71. And that's September of 2025. So that means if these are your amounts, you became credit card debt free from April 2024 to September of 2025. So you do not have any more credit card debt if you do not use the cards. Now, if you're using them, paying them off, using them, then that is just a cycle that you're going to have to just work out. But this took a year and 5 months to become credit card debt free. So the next option is we're going to do the debt avalanche method. And that is starting with the highest card that has the most interest. Of course, the interest, is still going to be added to the cards. So for me, the highest interest that I have of my credit cards is my Discover. So for my Discover card, it's 28% interest. I know, y'all, it's high. I have 10% interest on Capital One. I have 21% and 21. So what I would do is I would start here to pay this off first and making sure that I can go ahead and try to allocate something a little extra. But if I can't, I'm just going to do it the way that I've been doing it. And we're going to start with Discover. So we have the $468.32. So I am going to do the payment, of course, of the $28. Now, doing it this way is going to take a long time because you're still going to go ahead and still owe money, still collect interest. So I only recommend the avalanche method if you have some extra money to throw at your budget, throw at your credit cards from out of your budget. So we have $440.32. Now, if I have an extra paycheck, if I have an extra $20 or $30 in my bank account, then of course I'll go ahead and I'll throw some extra. So I'm going to go ahead and make an extra payment of $40. So that brings us down to $400. So then we are making regular payments and then we have extra payments. So then we'll go ahead and we would get this down to zero. And then once we get it down to zero, we'll move on to our next highest card, which would be either my Walmart card or my Target card. For myself, because the Walmart card is cheaper, I would take the money that is I would be allocating towards the Discover credit card once that interest is gone. And I would put it towards the Walmart card because it's only $72, which means I would have my regular payment, the payment that's coming from Discover, and then if I have additional funds that I'm able to put towards it, then I have those two cards knocked out. So the avalanche method, I feel like, is best if you have some extra money to throw at it, or you know that you can maneuver your budget. If you can't maneuver your budget, then it's going to take you a long time with just paying $28, because it's going to be, let's see how long it's going to take us just doing the minimum payment, working on our highest card. So $372. So this is, I'm just going to say April. We got an extra payment. This is May. This is June. It's going to take us a little bit of time, but consistency is key, and making sure that we are at least focusing on a goal. Y'all, we made it down to the 200s, okay? We almost in the hundreds, baby. right. Are y'all doing the math with me? Are y'all like grabbing your credit cards and seeing what you are able to do in this time frame? I hope you are. I hope you rewatch this video once you see the power of creating a plan with just paying off the cards. Let's see, we got $64. Oh, y'all, we're so close. We're at 64. All right, so we got 28, and then we have 30, y'all, $36. Let's see, 36. And then we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna say, okay, that we had 36 extra dollars just to make this zero. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna do it as if somebody was just, okay, so 28. All right, so we got 36 minus 28. Okay, so that leaves us with $8. And if you just want to roll that on over to the next month, then you can. So let's see. We got June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, and June. Okay, so we paid off this credit card again with the highest interest from April of 2024 through June of 2025. So it took us 1 year and 2 months to pay off this credit card, but we beat all of that interest, which was at 28%. So now what we're going to do is take our $28 and we're going to go right on to the next card, which is going to be the Walmart card. Again, the Walmart card, y'all, is only $28. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do Walmart, and it's $72. For some people, they can go and just pay that off, but if you're struggling, then no, we're not. So we have the $28 that we already have here, and then we got another $28 that we just saved. So we got $56. So that means we got $16. So this is what, June. This is going to be a July payment. And then this card will be paid off in August of 2025. So now we're beating the interest on this card. We're beating the interest on this card, which is saving you some money, okay? Because you ain't got to make those extra payments. And then you'll go ahead and you'll do the same thing to Target and Capital One to have those cards completely paid off. This way, it does take, like I said, a little bit longer because you are starting off with your highest interest cards first. So you are beating the interest. So whether you only are able to pay your minimum payments, or if you have extra money to throw at your cards, if you cancel subscriptions, you pick up extra shifts at work, you got a little bit of extra money, you got an unexpected check, you have something that you're able to put towards it that's additional, then go ahead and do the avalanche method. So whether you are doing the debt snowball, which is starting with the lowest amount, paying that off and rolling that into your next lowest amount. So starting from lowest to highest, you have that option. Or you have the option to do the debt avalanche, where you're starting with the highest interest and you're beating the interest to keep a little bit more money in your pockets. So whichever one you like, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know, did you grab your pen and paper and did you budget along with me to pay off your credit cards? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Bye.